Last order of business for the Chicago Bulls this offseason was signing Josh Giddey, and the Bulls just made it officially signing Josh Giddey to a 4-year, $100 million deal. We're going to talk about it all and more right after this.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bulls Central, hosted by Hayes, your number one spot for all things Chicago Bulls.
The Chicago Bulls have done it. They took care of the last order of business, and they end up meeting right in the middle. This is basically the best option between the two sides. They end up meeting in a deal right in the middle, 4-year deal worth $100 million. Sham Charania was the first to post this, and then Casey Johnson and Bulls PR did confirm shortly thereafter that. So Josh Giddey gets a annual average value of $25 million, which is exactly in the middle between the Bulls, $20 million, and Josh Giddey's $30 million. And this is what it is. That's what negotiations are about. Now, we don't have the exact details on the splits, if there are any incentives or anything like that within the contract, if it's a flat $25 million every single year, or if it's escalating contract or de-escalating is a possibility there as well. But when it all comes down to it, the Bulls have now taken care of the last order of business. Josh Giddey's here. He gets a deal right in between what the two sides originally came to the table with. And this is an important deal for the Chicago Bulls. We've talked a lot about over the last couple of months how Josh Giddey is important to the Bulls offense, the style that they like to play, the engine of it, and having a point guard that operates that system at a high level. And Josh Giddey, who 22 years old, the sky's still the limit for him. He still has a lot of NBA career ahead of him, and now he gets his $100 million contract offer over 4 years to remain with the Chicago Bulls. And I feel like this is the perfect best outcome. I had said on a couple of episodes ago, I think $24 million with incentives would have got it done. $25 million is eventually what they settle on. So both sides meet right in the middle. They negotiate to the middle. And, we said that with the Bulls coming down off their initial $20 million offer and going to 22, it meant that they were willing and open to negotiate and probably seeing what that situation was going to be like. I think this is a fair deal. I think the $25 million evaluation, of course, is not what Josh Giddey wanted, but it's not what the Bulls wanted either. And in a negotiation that's fair, both sides ends up feeling like they gave up a little bit. And that's what's happening here. They're both giving up a little bit of what they wanted to keep the sides together, to keep this deal together. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. So Josh Giddey is signed, for anybody who's just jumping in, 4 years, $100 million offer. That's $25 million per season, right in the middle of what Josh Giddey wanted and what the Chicago Bulls are offering. Let's go to the comments. Well, something positive, at least considering the Bears sold last night. I still have one concern, is how will he perform under the new contract? Hey, and he can only prove that on the basketball court. Great deal from Drew. Absolutely. Taxing in the building says finally. Finally from Jerry, and that's what it feels like. A lot of people are what their feeling is gonna be. It's the finally part of that's the portion of it. Everybody's just happy and ready for this to be over with and get done, and let's just move the hell on and be able to focus on what the season's supposed to be, right? I think that's the most important thing here. That's a fair deal too. I think it's fair. I think it's a very fair deal. Antoine says it's about damn time. My goodness. All right, so Bulls roster is now complete. I was about to quit being a Bulls fan if they messed this up. Thank God. Listen, and I think that's what it is when it comes down to it. Finally, let's go with the quickness. You already know I told y'all, by subscribing to Chicago Bulls Central, you're going to get the news here first. That just is what it is. If y'all only knew how quick the reason why I'm able to get news out so quickly, I don't have an inside source, but if y'all know how much stuff that the studio was built to get up and go like this. Like that's literally what it is. It's 2 buttons and I'm recording. That's it. I can go from everything shut down to 2 button presses and we're ready to go. I had this thumbnail made for weeks. Being a Chicago fan is actually so glad we did right. Hopefully him and Modest go off this season. Hopefully, and Coby as well. This is a great deal, right in the middle. Even I know there are still going to be some Josh Giddey stands that say things like, oh my God, the Bulls, they played hardball with Josh Giddey. They shouldn't have done that. But my standpoint on this is what it's always going to be. In a negotiation, if you meet in the middle between two sides, I feel like that's a fair negotiation. I feel like at that point, Both sides came to a meeting of the minds, and they settled on a deal that was right in between what they wanted. And this gets this done. We're 20 days away from training camp opening. 20 days away. So now we get all this out of the question. It's not even there, and we can just move the hell on. Yes. Now we can focus on what the team is capable of this season. Exactly. We can focus on what this team is supposed to be. So our backcourt going to be around $55-some million, probably. And it may be more like 57, 58-ish, because, we've been told that Coby wants more than 30 million. So we'll see what the Bulls do there. But we'll see. We'll see. I told y'all he was worth $25 million since day one, finding out him wanting $30 million and the Bulls wanted to give him $20 million. I mean, you would think that that's the most likely situation, right? And it's glad that they finally just came to that, man. Fair deal for both sides. Bring on the season. Exactly. Bring on the season. Hayes, once again, you called it. You said they would meet in the middle, and they did. I mean, but I'm not going to lie to you. I started feeling a little bit shaky about that prediction myself because it just took them so long to get it together. But, hey, we're here now, and that's what it comes down to. It's about time, and didn't the $25 million a year number get called out immediately as the summer started when we heard 20 and 30 was the split, wasted 3 months? I mean, they came to the most sensible offer, right? Like one side at 20, one side at 30. What's right in the middle of that? $25 million. Oh, my God. What revolutionary thinking that happened here with getting this contract done. But no, I'm glad overall that they got the contract done. That is the most important thing, is getting the deal done. They got the deal done. So, I'll give them credit on that one. Great deal. Absolutely. I wonder how much we're going to have next year now after Giddey and Coby get their contract. Well, keep in mind, Coby's going to come out of the cap space, but I've said this before, and I'm not saying this is going to happen because for some reason, people don't listen to what I'm saying here. Listen to the words that I'm saying. If the Chicago Bulls were to give Ayo, Coby, and Josh Giddey all $30 million each, which we now know that's not going to happen, the Bulls would still have roughly $80 million in cap space. So you've got Giddey now locked into 25. If you get Coby locked into 30, let's just say that, right? And let's say Ayo gets a reasonable 20-ish million, 18 to 20-ish million, you're still rocking with $95 million in cap space. The Bulls have plenty of flexibility where things stand right now. And I'll go over those numbers more in detail. We'll have kind of an in-detail episode tomorrow as the daily pops up, because I don't know if anything has messed with that projected cap space. But the Bulls are projected to be perfectly fine cap space wise. Getting almost as good as way younger than IQ and making $10 million less a steal, if you ask me. Flaccavelli says, yep, sounds about right. Both sides got what they wanted. I mean, and neither side got what they wanted at the same time, right? And that's what you want in regards to a deal. B- says, okay, now let's trade for. We're not trading for Kuminga. It's not going to happen. I told you that months ago. The Bulls are not trading for Jonathan Kuminga. This will end up being a deal related to restricted free agent contracts that gets used as an example during CBA talks in the future and why players will want better deal, etc. I mean, hey, if it does, great. That's something we ain't got to worry about. I mean, we may have to worry about with restricted free agents, but let's hope going forward our restricted free agents are so good we don't even question how much we're going to pay them. Hey, it's great news, but I'm still pissed off about last night. Well, I mean, listen, as I've said this before, it's hard for me to be disappointed as a Bears fan because nothing surprises me with the Bears anymore. If you go back and look at that live stream last night, when the Vikings scored the touchdown to put them up, I was just like, oh, okay, yeah, that pretty much that's pretty much that sounds about what we do here. Fair deal on both sides. Giddey is still young to make a lot more on his next deal. Yeah, I'm waiting to see if any of the details of the contract comes out because it's just reported as the bones of the contract. I wonder if the last year is an option or anything like that. Shams just dropped his article on it, so let me read this real quick, y'all. Give me 1 second. Yeah, nothing on the details of the deal. So we may not have that until I do tomorrow's daily episode. We may not have the particulars on the contract. But it'll be interesting to see if there's any player option, any incentives in that at all. If it's a flat deal, whatever we'll say with that one. Incentives might come with him making All-Star. Could be. That could be a very fair incentive for him, right? I'm just now getting notifications for the signing on other apps. Laughing my ass off. That Chicago Bulls Central showing off real speed. I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying. Ever since, what was the first thing? Somebody in the chat, correct me if I'm wrong. I think the first thing for this team, for this channel that I ever broke before ESPN was the Andre Drummond signing. I'm pretty sure it was DeAndre Drummond signing. I could be wrong on that, but I think that was the first deal that I broke, and people were like, damn, I ain't even seen this on ESPN yet. I was like, motherfucker, yeah, this is what we do. They're not giving Coby $30 million. Y'all tripping. No, again, B minor, and I did this exercise on the show. Go look at just shooting guards and filter by shooting points per game. You'll see Coby's in the top 10 or 12. Then filter by assists per game for a shooting guard. You'll find that he's in the top, I think, 8 to 10 in that. Rebounds, he's in the top 8 in that. And then if you factor in the fact that Coby's probably going to see a scoring output, if Coby gets into anything above 23 points per game, he's going to be in the top 15 scorers in the NBA and one of the best shooting guards all around. There's a big case for Coby to get $30 million. On top of that, you got to keep in mind, it's not like with the Chicago Bulls where Josh Giddey just got here. Coby's been here his whole career. He's going to have leverage. I would not be surprised if Coby gets $30 million. It may not be $30 million on average, but I would not be surprised that by the end of that deal, he's making over $30 million. Vaughn said it did take long just to meet in the middle. Bro, that's a long, like you would think, like what that's why I'm ready to hear the details of the contract, is because for it to go this long, something other than just meeting in the middle had to be some sweetener in there. Maybe it's a trade kicker, maybe it's something like that. I don't know. I just would not be surprised if something happens there. You think this will increase Coby's projected salary? I haven't watched your pods last couple of days, but I know you've been talking about it. Well, actually talk about it on today's episode. So Coby has to have a solid season. That's the first and foremost thing. Coby has to have a year that he averages at least 21 or more points per game. But we'll see with that. We'll see with that. Berthan says, how are cap space looking for 2026? The cap situation is amazing in 2026. Like that's why I wasn't one of the Bulls fans that were really tripping off. And keep in mind too, you gotta have somebody people want to play with to even use your cap space. I don't know if the Bulls have that, right? So not to say that they're not going to use it. I do think they're going to fill out the roster some for sure, but I don't think it's going to be this hugely detrimental thing. So now, after this deal is done, and after it's finalized, the Chicago Bulls are going to have projected to have $115 million-ish in cap space next year. So that's where things stand. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. His ass better play well. I don't want to hear anything about being hurt or none of that shit. I mean, if he's hurt, he's hurt. But I do agree with you. Like let's start off the season healthy. Let's see how you're gonna go, right? You got your money now, and let's see you go out and ball out. I'm hit. So glad we don't have to discuss his worth no more, because that was getting. I mean, yeah. At some point, every conversation around it gets old. You're absolutely correct on that. I'm glad we saved a little money to pay Julian's breakout season in the future. I mean, it has to be. He has 2 more years on his rookie scale deal, but hopefully, listen. If Julian Phillips, Dalen Terry, any of these guys break out, it helps the Chicago Bulls tremendously with saving some money, right? Was this all $100 million guaranteed, or is it mostly guaranteed with some? We do not know the details of the contract yet, Ian. That's what I was getting at. We'll probably won't have those maybe for another couple of hours. I keep refreshing to see if it comes out before I end the stream. If it does, we'll discuss it. But if not, I'll have a full deep dive on the Josh Giddey contract, what it means for the Chicago Bulls. I have a deep dive on that tomorrow for the daily episode. So stay on the lookout for that. Let's see. I'm just so glad we don't have to discuss this contract value anymore, because Ian left a very similar comment to that one. So I know a lot of you guys are happy about not talking about it, and I won't lie to you, I was tired of talking about it too. Just happy we can rest. But can we please fast forward to the post game live shows already? I'm ready for game days. Game days coming soon. The Bulls play a basketball game. It's preseason in less than a month. They play a preseason game in less than a month. LOL, probably not. Okay. We don't get political here. Great news for me today. I went from losing 2,800 on the stock to making 700 in one day, and now this outstanding. Shout out to you. You're having a good day there, bro. You're having a good day. What do you mean hope? The only thing that I never said hope on anything. The only thing I said hope for is that he can up his scoring. Everything else is already legitimate. I get it that your name is minor, but just because your name is minor don't mean that you have to think like a dumbass. Like that doesn't mean that your brain has to be small, B. Like, come on, bro. Like catch up. Get with the conversation, bro. Get with the conversation. Everything you predicted ever has been wrong. because you just like to bitch and complain. Like, is the B and B minor for bitch? Is it bitch minor? You're a minor bitch. See, like, this is the thing, man. Like, we don't need minors in here, bro. Like, it's okay. Like just sit and be in a child's place. Seeing as how Zach was disrespected a lot, I feel like Coby needs to average 26 plus to be considered an all-star. Well, I mean, I think when you got to look at like all-stars that come from, like, Tyler Hero made the all-star team last year with not much different averages than that, and on a team that had a losing record at the time, right? So, like, it's a lot of different ways. I think you got to keep in mind too, it matters on what other guards are having big seasons as well. That plays a part into it. But making it as an all-star starter and making it as a reserve are different, right? And I'm not saying that Coby will make it as a starter with 25, 5, and 5, but I do think that can put him in consideration as a reserve. That's for sure. That's for sure. The channel is really, really good. We appreciate that, bro. We appreciate that. Hayes, do I need medication because I honestly feel Pat Will is going to have a good year? Listen, I'm at the place where I'm no longer hoping for P. Will to turn into anything. If he does, great. And I'll tell you that even with my like where I'm at with P. Will, I won't lie to you and say it's completely out of the realm of possibility that P. Will finally breaks out. At 23-ish years old, yeah, there's still a chance that he does. I'm just over expecting it or hoping for it. If it does, I'd rather be surprised by it. But if you're holding out hope, listen, I'm not going to hold that against you, bro. I'm not going to hold that against you. But, I mean, I think at some point we just got to realize it's probably not happening. I think it's probably not happening. If Giddey shows his elite passing ability, Coby takes another small step and Modest takes a step, guys will want to play here in fast-paced offense. I mean, we could hope for that, right? We can hope that happens. But at the end of the day, I don't really think that – here's the thing. For a team to become – here's the thing. If the Bulls want to become a free agent destination this time next year, so next summer, yeah, those things – Giddey has to continue to break out. Coby has to break out. If Modest also really is looking like an up-and-coming player, I won't call it a breakout yet, but he takes a considerable step. The Bulls have cap space. And I say the Bulls would have to make the playoffs. Like, I think then you could become a free agent destination. I think. But it's still a lot of ifs there, right? The Bulls got a lot that they need to prove before they can really become a free agent destination, personally. Can you please start talking about Io's contract? A 5-year, $100 million is a good number. He's not getting that much, probably. Like, we'll see. Like, when you look at it depends on how much they weigh the fact that Io's already been here. I do think what the market's dictating, because when you look at players that come off the bench like specialists, 17 to 20 is probably what you're looking at. Like, that's 16 probably at the end, 20 at the most is around the range you're looking at, and that depends on the team, all that type of stuff. So 5 years, 100, I guess that's not completely off. I think that's the high end. I don't know if the Bulls commit that to Io, so maybe it ends up being like 3 years, maybe something like that. But we'll see. We'll see. Sounds like no options on the deal, fully guaranteed. If that is the case, then good. If it is a fully guaranteed contract, I'm not mad at that either. If it's a full guaranteed flat contract, not necessarily mad at that at all either. So he'll be a free agent again the summer that he's 26. So if Io starts and actually looks great at small forward, oh my God, that man. Oh, now if he does start this season, I'm talking about coming off the bench, but you're not wrong there. If Io starts this year and the offense and defense combo in that starting lineup looks really good with Josh Giddey and Coby as the backcourt, yeah, he's going to get paid. You're not wrong at all there. You're not off base at all there. He's going to get some money. He's going to get some dollars. The dinero's going to look good in that if that's the case. So we'll see. We needed some good news after the Bears yesterday. Good timing. We shall see. We shall see. Charles says 25 a year for a 22-year-old triple-double machine. Yes, please. Also, Coby's going to kill it this year. Full season as option one. Yeah, I mean, that's the hope here. And if Coby does, with his first year coming into the season being the number one option, if he excels in that, there's going to be money there for Coby. Coby's going to get paid if that ends up being the case. What's next for the Bulls? Will anything else happen before training camp? Well, the roster's full. Keep in mind, we now have a full roster full of guaranteed. Everybody on the contract is guaranteed. Of course, the two-way contract players are not guaranteed, but all the main rosters are all guaranteed spots. So unless the Bulls plan on buying somebody out or making a trade, I would say that this is probably going to be the roster from at the start of training camp, which is in 20 days. I feel like that's probably going to still be the still be the roster. And we're just going to ride it into the season and see how that works out for everyone. So, we'll see what happens. But hey, that's my time. If you guys let me know how you guys feel and everything down below, whether you're jumping in now or watching it after the fact. We will have a full breakdown on now that the Josh Giddey contract is locked in. We'll look at the Bulls cap space for the remainder of this year. We'll look at the projections for next year and and expectations now for Josh Giddey now that the deal is official. Let me know what you guys think on everything down below. Make sure you're following us at Bulls Central Pod. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns. BullsCentralPod@gmail.com. And lastly, if you want to leave a text message and or voicemail for the mailbag, the number to do so, 773-270-2799. We're the #1 spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Like I like to end every episode on. Go Bulls. Love you guys. See you right if you can, y'all. Peace.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.